Okay, this is going to be my advice for who are learning English or any other language, actually. First of all, I'm just rehearsing. I didn't create a script for making this video. I'm just flowing. It's like I'm just talking. So excuse me if this video is not so organized. I just wanted to show you my level in English. If you are a subscriber or any person actually, it's like I just want to share what I have learned. First of all, I know that my English is not perfect, but I think it's understandable. Native English speakers, they are going to understand me somehow, hopefully. Well, actually, I have speak with many native English speakers, so they understand me. And I know that I had to improve a lot in terms of my pronunciation and everything, actually, grammar and vocabulary. But well, if you would like to speak in English as I am speaking right now, I think it's better than nothing, in my opinion. So these are my advices. First of all, and the most important time is that your mindset is not like you have to find a way to enjoy this process because it's going to take a lot of time, even years, I would say. So if you are just looking for learn English in just 3 or 6 months, unless you are like a very, very smart person, it's going to be impossible if we are just a normal people, like 99% of the population in the world. It's going to take years, okay? But having said that, you could reach a very good level in English in, I would say, maybe 8 months, 6 months. Not an advanced level, of course, but you will understand at least the basic, okay? Even maybe you could speak like I'm talking right now, using simple words and simple grammar, and this way. Okay, so this is my first takeaway. This is the first one. My first advice: be patient, basically. The second one, it's, well, as I already told you, it's like you have to find a way to enjoy this process. In my case, for instance, first of all, you need to know that there are many ways to learn English, okay? Some of them, they are more effective, some of them are more entertaining, some of them are more boring, and so on. But the thing is that you need to combine or mix 2 or 3 or even more ways of learning English. I would divide the microphone. I would separate the method for learning English in 2, like in active methods and passive methods, okay? Active method is like you are making like the mental effort for learning English, okay? It's like when you are learning vocabulary consciously on purpose, And the other method are the passive. They are easier to do, but in my opinion, there are not enough, okay? You need the active and passive. The passive ways of learning English, it would be just watch a movie in English, listen to music, read a book without writing down the words you don't know. It's like comprehensible input, I would say, okay? It's not so demanding in terms of thinking, and it's absolutely necessary, but it's not enough. In my opinion, it's not enough. So what do I do personally? I use both methods. I only use like active methods in terms of I use Anki, the app, for memorizing words, for improving my vocabulary. I just study like 30 or 40 minutes a day. Sometimes I study more, or sometimes I don't study at all. But most of the time I study like 40 minutes every single day. Okay, this is like it takes a little bit more like effort, but it's not so much, it's not so difficult, so it's good for me. In your case, you could, I don't know, memorize some words in, I don't know, using just a notebook or whatever. I would recommend you Anki. And then what do I do? For passive ways of learning English, I just watch anime sometimes in English. It's weird, but I watch anime in English. And or YouTube videos in English. I like to read the subtitles in English, because that way it's like I am listening to and reading the words at the same time. I think it's a good way for learning. But when I do that, when I watch a YouTube video, it's just naturally. I mean, I try to just watch the video. That's all. Sometimes it calls my attention some words and I write it down, but I don't do that usually, regularly. Only from time to time. I try to do this in like just in a fun way. For instance, I like to watch like how to learn English. I love those kind of videos. I have to admit that. And I watch those videos in English, or I don't know, maybe some sports, motivational videos sometimes in English. And if I want to learn something, sometimes I watch those videos in English. Not all the time, but I try to do it. And that would be my second advice. Like, use active and passive methods for learning English, okay? And the third advice would be, I would say this is the most important, actually. The third advice that I'm going to tell you right now, it's learn the IPA, actually, International Phonetic Alphabet. I'm not saying that you have to be an expert, but it's going to save you a lot of time in the long term, because you will learn how to pronounce the sounds in English, each sound in English, because as you already know for sure, it's that English and Spanish, they have different kind of sounds, right? So you need to learn how to pronounce each one of them. Although I would say that the vowels are very, very difficult for me. Excuse me. The vowels are very, very difficult, at least for me. But the consonants, I think you could dominate it. Most of them, at least. Okay? In my case, sometimes it's like I'm a little bit lazy when it comes to learn to study the pronunciation, but it's very, very important. It's the first thing that we have to do. But I understand you if you don't do that, but try to do it. At least study 3 sounds a day or 2 sounds a day. I need to apply that also. There are many pages where you can find how to pronounce this. It's called, I don't know how to say in English, but it's called phonemas. Phonemum. I don't know if that's the word in English, but phonemas. There are many YouTube channels also. In this case, you need to choose between American pronunciation or the pronunciation in UK, okay, or even Australian. It depends on you. I prefer American. It's just for the movies, and for me at least, it's like easier to understand. But you could use whatever accent you want to pick up. It's up to you, okay? What else? So the first advice is be patient. It's going to take a lot of time. The second advice, it's use active and passive methods for learning English. The third one, it's you need to learn how to pronounce the words, the International Phonetic Alphabet. At least you need to have an idea. The fourth one, it would be you need to measure your progress, I would say. Okay, because that way you will feel that you are actually improving, right? Sometimes it's bad if you don't see like any progress at all. It's like you could get disappointed, or not really disappointed, you could get like unmotivated because you are not seeing your progress, right? So how can you measure your progress? In my case, that's why I like to use Anki, because it's like I know that Matilda, excuse me, it's my dog, she's barking. Well, you could measure your progress. For instance, I use Anki. So I say, okay, this month I'm going to review and learn, I don't know, let's say 100 new words. So I'm seeing my progress, right? Or also you could measure your progress. Okay, I'm going to talk with a native English speakers and I will see if I could be fluent speaking with them, okay? You will feel more comfortable, so you will be measuring your progress somehow, right? Okay, that's the fourth advice. The fifth advice, it's going to be this one. For instance, a method that I really like to use, it's like the method that I am using right now, right? I'm just speaking in English freely, right? Without a script, without anything, okay? So, my quinto consejo, I don't remember how to say quinto in English, maybe fifth, I think, I'm not sure. It would be like, do this, record yourself, and then you need to, how can I say this? You need to listen to you again, and you need to fill the gaps. What do I mean when I say you need to fill the gaps? You need to search every word that you don't know how to say. For instance, in my case, I didn't know how to say quinto. So that's the word that you need to learn. Okay? And also, for instance, if I notice that I am making a lot of grammar mistakes, maybe it's because I really need to learn that grammar to convey, to express my ideas in a correct way, right? That would be my fifth, I think, advice. Is like learn from your mistakes, because I'm sure that you have watched some videos which says make mistakes, and it's okay to make mistakes, but also you need to correct your mistakes. Okay, so that would be my fifth advice. Make mistakes and correct them. I already told you a technique that you could use to do that, okay? So I have been speaking in English like almost for 15 minutes, so I think it's more than enough for this video. I will try to do more videos like this from time to time. That way you could see my progress, because my idea with this channel, it's my YouTube channel, it's called Learning English Together. So my idea is just to show you the process of learning English and share the material that I am using for learning English. And that's my purpose actually. Like, and somehow, even you don't believe me, but when I say that someone like comment my videos or say me thank you or they ask me something, it's like it gives me a lot of motivation for keep going and don't give up in my progress learning English. Okay, so yes, that would be this video, and I hope you enjoy and keep in touch, maybe keep in tune, because I will be sharing more materials about how to learn English and sharing my progress with you and helping you. And that's all. See you in the next video. Bye bye.